Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building. Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepared for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepared for it, man, y'all get it. My QB got swag, my wideout is award winning. His fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes the
shakedown.
shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, Kick Dig back here, and welcome to the Philly Shakedown podcast with your host, Philly 500 and Joey Shakes. Joey, what is going on, my man?
I'm good, man. Just chilling. Another matchup tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. A lot of news for this week, and we have a lot to talk about today. No doubt.
Big news to talk about. Hold on one second, dude. I got it. This sun's driving me nuts. It's shining right in my eyes. It's pissing me off. I can't deal with it.
You good?
Hopefully I got it. Hopefully it's not that one. That's the other one. Oh, of course it's the fucking other one. I don't care. Anyways, well, we first should start off by talking about this. And that is, guess who is back?
Boom.
Sidney Brown. We have activated safety Sidney Brown from the reserve PUP list to the active roster and have elevated offensive lineman Jack Driscoll from the practice squad for tomorrow's game. So we get Sidney Brown. Back tomorrow. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think they're slowly. I don't think he'll have such a big role for Sunday. Maybe he'll play some special teams. I think they'll slowly ease him in a little bit, and maybe in a couple more weeks or maybe another week, he'll see what they do with him. But this is another. We got Cooper DeJean back. Now we have Sidney Brown now activated, which is great. Get more reinforcements for the defense, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me not be rude. Let me say hi to everybody. J-Dog's here, Donnie's here, Logan Motorsports, Chris Scott, Patrick, John, E-Money, Paul, Twits, Crawley, CZ, Daz, Nathan's here, Cujo. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. Anybody that I missed came in late, I apologize. Daniel Son, Philly D, James, Easy, Young, all you guys, thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, listen, I think Sidney Brown coming back is obviously it's a good thing. My question is how many reps will he actually get? How much will he actually play? And does it change anything going forward in terms of like would Bradbury be expendable now when he comes back? Or what are they going to do? That's what I want to know, because I think I was talking to J-Dog before the stream today, and I've seen this reported elsewhere about the Eagles maybe having interest in Budda Baker, but I don't think that's a move that helps you at all, because I don't think that it's going to change anything that significant at the safety position. Where you need help is the edge rusher. So to me, it's great having Sidney Brown back, but I think we're pretty good actually in the secondary, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Bradbury coming back within the next couple of weeks, so they have to really make a big decision. I kind of already had Bradbury as maybe a trade candidate for the trade deadline. I mean, I know there's no value there because he hasn't really played at all. And our team is looking at him as a safety or a corner. Didn't really play safety. I don't know the idea, because the corner room was so crowded this year. Bradbury pretty much thought he had no chance. So obviously, if you add someone to the active roster, you have to get rid of somebody. And I don't want to keep Bradbury just to get rid of a good depth piece or something like that. And I think Sidney Brown is here to stay at that safety spot as the backup safety role, no doubt, or as a hybrid player for corner and safety. So either or.
I mean, DeJean looks like a safety to me. Does he not look like a safety the way he plays? I think they're good over there. What's going to be interesting is at the trade deadline, or if they do decide to make a trade, because I think if they win tomorrow. And we'll talk about this game in a second. But you're talking about a team that is then 4-2. I think you have to assume they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. There's a lot of talk now about Von Miller, right? Possibly being traded. I did a poll about that, and 53% of people said they would be interested. Would you be interested in him as a possible guy?
I think if you're not trying to give up first or second round picks, whether it's Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, it really depends on how the front office and the coaching staff feels, how they're going forward. Can they really, do they think they're in a position right now to just go all out and trade for a Myles Garrett or Max Crosby, or do you think that you might go the cheaper route because Von Miller is only 30, he's 34, 35 years old, 3 sacks for the year. And, signed that big contract with the Bills. Hasn't really lived up to it, really. And I don't know, man. Like, I think, sure, there's a connection. I guess there's somewhat connections with Von Miller, too. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. But if you want the cheaper option, how much is it going to cost? Not much. But I think it could be a safe move for the Eagles to make. Or you just, maybe play more Jalix Hunt or get him playing.
How many more we've been saying that. Yeah, I know. I hear you. Z-Day says they want Max Crosby. Hey, listen, I would love Max Crosby too, probably more than anybody because I think he's the youngest. But it sounds like the Raiders have no interest in moving him at all. So, a guy like him, a guy like Garrett, I mean, the question is, will those teams do it? Von Miller, I could see possibly them doing it. But, Buffalo's also competing too. So it'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do. I think that they'll try to do something. I just don't know what. But, I don't know how many options. A pass rusher is not something that teams trade typically. It's one of those positions you have to really get in the offseason. So you almost need these guys that you drafted and signed to actually develop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you have 2 losing organizations with the Raiders and especially the Browns. The Browns are in a unique position right now with Deshaun Watson.
They're screwed.
It looks really bad. So you're really thinking that Myles Garrett. Kudos to him for being there his whole career and just losing year in and year out, and still not even after getting these contracts that he's had and these big extensions that he's played at a high level still. So I think more likely it will be Myles Garrett being traded, maybe more than Max Crosby, to be honest with you.
Well, I would love it. I mean, I would love either one of those guys. I think Myles Garrett. I mean, he showed you how dominant he could be against us last week with the Eagles. With them, I think he would take that defensive line to another level. Fabio, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, Myles maybe a second and a fourth, maybe a player. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they would ask. I really don't, Lazyford says Crosby would fit Philly great, but don't want to give up the picks. Yeah. Well, and there was a report that they were offered a first-round pick by a team earlier this year, like in the offseason, and they said no. Will they change their minds and be willing to move them? Just keep rooting against the Raiders and keep rooting against the Browns. So maybe it forces their hand. BMO says Harold Landry, I agree, should be on Howie's radar. I'm not sure who we're talking about.
He's the Titans. I think he's the Titans edge rusher, but he's good. Harold Landry's really good on the Titans, but I don't know if he's even available.
I'm not sure. Rock the Artist says, "What's up, 500? What's going on, my man? How are you? Maybe there's somebody that we're talking." We're not thinking of, Howie oftentimes gets somebody that you're not thinking of. But I also know that if you look at what Howie likes to trade for, a lot of times it's a guy who's on a rookie deal.
Yes.
Who maybe in the last year or two of his deal or team has to get ready to extend them or not. And he tries to get a guy like that. What about Trevon Walker of the Jags? The Jags stink.
Has he done much?
He had 10 sacks last year. I think he had double-digit sacks last year. I think he's got a couple this year. They just paid Josh Allen a ton of money. A ton of money. Would they consider? I know he's not as flashy as a name as other people, but he does fit that MO of Howie. Getting close to where he needs to extend him. Still young. He played in Georgia. Who knows? Just throwing it out there. I mean, I don't really know, You know, I think that pass rushers always harder to find, and when they go, they go. Like pass rushers, like they go overnight. Like, you know, one day they're great, the next day they're not. Like Robert Quinn probably scares the Eagles a little bit, right? 17.5 sacks the year before he comes to Philly, does nothing. You know, the thing with Von Miller, circling back to him, is that at least he has 3 or 4 sacks this year. So he was producing before he was suspended. So, you know, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I just know that he's the latest name to be floating around. Big Dog Guru, David Superchick goes, Myles Garrett is only 27, 28, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure how old Myles Garrett is.
I thought he was older than that.
I thought he was 29, but he might be 28. You know, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Clowney could be a trade that works out salary. I'm convinced the Eagles will never go after Jadeveon Clowney. I'm just convinced of it, because how many years in a row was this guy a free agent and the Eagles could have gotten him and they showed zero interest?
Yeah, it's from team
I don't
to
think
team,
they like him.
That's why when you have guys like Leonard Floyd that goes to the Niners, like when you get guys like that are journeyman type. Well, they kind of did that with the Asana, you know, when they got Asana Reddick. Like you have to get those journeyman guys that put up good numbers, like, you know, great numbers every year and go from team to team. But, you know, you're slim pickings right now. There's not much out there. So either you give up a lot of picks or you go rent somebody. So
Right. Kenny says we definitely need a linebacker. We could definitely use a linebacker. Chris Scott says JOK is going nowhere. I think he just signed a contract extension, actually. But didn't me and you remember that draft we were trying to get JOK? We were like, come on, JOK, and he was falling.
I know.
I think we got Landon Dickerson, which turned out to be pretty good. So you can't be complaining. But man, JOK, we were right on him, man. Big Dog says, if we keep Rodgers, what would you think about having Sidney bulk up a little and having him be a hybrid linebacker safety? I don't know. I mean, he'd have to get pretty big. He'd still be an undersized linebacker, even if he bulked up. My first choice, and I saw somebody, I clicked on it and I clicked off of it by accident, but they said, what about Jalen Hunt? Yeah, I think Jalen Hunt needs to play more. I think he needs to play a lot more. He did have some productive snaps against Tampa. I don't know what he did last week, though. I don't know if he played it. Did he play it all last week?
No, I don't know. The Atlanta game's the only one I know of that. The Tampa Bay game's the only one I know of. He played 5 snaps or he blew up the tight end. But other than that, I don't. I mean, this was a guy that was great. Not only just, I mean, I think we need to see more of him, like because I don't know. We don't know that we have to see him more on the field for his pass rush ability. But as a perimeter guy, he could probably be one of the barely that we have defensive ends that could, you know, drop in coverage as an end and do really good on the perimeter. I thought he did that really well in the offseason program, but why they're not playing him, I have no idea. No idea.
I don't know. Daniel said our D-line has 8.5 sacks this season. It's awful. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. You know? Crosby or Garrett, who would you rather have? For 1 year, for one immediate year, I'd rather have Garrett.
Yes.
For multiple years, probably Crosby, because I think he's younger. But it would really depend on age for me, you know?
Yeah.
S. Green says Jordan Davis is a bust. I'm not willing to call him a bust yet, but he needs to significantly improve this year. You know, I thought he's been up and down this year. I thought that New Orleans game, he was lights out, him and Jalen Carter. I thought he was horrible in the Tampa game. I thought he was okay. I thought he was decent in the Browns game.
It depends too, like, because like the ends and the DTs, like they help each other out in a lot of ways. You don't have that menacing edge rusher. It puts more pressure on the inside guys. Like, I don't think, you know, Jordan Davis has been up and down. Jalen Carter's been up and down.
Jalen Carter's been up and down too. He did, yeah.
But
non-existent in that Tampa game.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much things that make it non-existent. Where if you play so much off of your cornerbacks, your D-line is non-existent. Where you can't get the quarterback. We're not expecting Jordan Davis to have 10 sacks. I mean, he had an interview the other day, and it's just one of those years where he's just like, "All right, we're going to move forward, get to the next game." But his play needs to be better. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
the motor's just not right. And I don't know. I've seen even from last game where it seems like they're mentally not prepared. I don't know. Like they even the game before Cleveland, I don't know. It just seems like it's how do you come off that Saints game like looking like bullies, and then you go into Tampa and you're just not there. Like you don't know where you're at.
I mean, and that's one of my complaints about the coach is because it's not just Jordan Davis. You could say that about Davis, Carter, some guys on like a lot of the times this team looks like they come in and they don't look ready. You know
we're talking crap about Jordan Davis, but what about? I think one of the most disappointing linemen is Josh Sweat because he's done. Other than maybe a sack or two, I don't know how many sacks he has for the year, but Josh Sweat's been a big disappointment. Huge
disappointment. Like I said, this going into the season, Josh Sweat needs to be a double-digit guy. Like for this to work out, he's got to be getting double-digit sacks, and so far he hasn't. Now, hopefully, it's something they'll figure out as the season goes on. I don't know, but these guys got to be better. Davis is getting treated like Hurts, nose guard to defensive tackle, back to nose guard. No stability there either. I agree. I personally believe that they would both, Carter and Davis, both should be in a 4-3. I don't expect Davis to get double-digit sacks. The Tampa Bay game was really bad. The New Orleans game was really good. The Tampa game surprised me because I never remember Davis getting pushed back by one guy before. I never saw that until that Tampa game.
Yeah.
I also think he needs to I still think he's a little too heavy. Like I still think he could be a little lighter. But I'm not giving up on Davis by no means yet. No, and nobody should. I mean, Davis has flashed unbelievable talent. But we gotta let him. We gotta be patient with him. I think it is year 3. We're only 5 games in. Let's see what it looks like in December and January. Jay Taylor, thank you so much for Super Chat. He goes, can the Jets trade Reddick back to us? I mean, them initiating the trade. I just saw Cam Akers got traded from Texans to Texans from the Vikings and then traded back to the Vikings. Can it be done with a loophole? No, I think it's a 2-year window. So I think he can't be traded by the Jets to the Philly for 2 years. I think Cam Akers wasn't he with the Rams in between that? I believe he was somewhere else, but between that too. I don't know how long he was gone for, but Reddick could not be traded from the Jets right now back to Philly. He would have to be cut by the Jets, and then he would possibly sign with the Eagles. So I think the more than likely thing, though, is that it looks like the Jets are going to trade him. So I think Reddick is going to be traded. And if Reddick goes to an NFC team in the trade, the Eagles automatically get a second-round pick in 2026. So that would be good.
Yeah, which is great. And plus, on top of everything else, even if he was able to get traded back, he hired Drew Rosenhaus as his agent. And Drew Rosenhaus is one of the number one agents, probably the number one agent. When a player wants the money he wants, usually Drew gets it. So they're pushing for whatever number that Reddick wants and what he's going to get paid. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen mid-season to a big contract like that, but I guess we'll find out what his number is. And unless he gets cut, there's no way he's coming back. It's just unfortunate.
Sean Davis level. Hey, Sean Davis, you sent me an email and you asked me if I did not get your first email you sent. I got the one today and responded. So look for that. So I mean, we'll see. It's going to be a lot of interesting things. But I mean, first of all, before we could talk about who they're going to trade for, this, that, or the other, they got to win tomorrow. They have to win. Like I look at tomorrow's game as a must-win game. Like you can't lose to the Giants right now. You can't lose the games you got to be winning. You need to get to 4-2, in my opinion, tomorrow, man. How are you feeling about this game going into tomorrow?
Yeah, the Giants to me. Like I don't look at them as the Cleveland. I don't look at them as the Cleveland Browns. I think people need to stop and really have to take their eyes on that. This team is going to go down swinging. What's going to keep the Giants really in this game is probably going to be their defense. Most likely, if the Eagles have inflicted wounds over and over again, and you're hoping the offense can get on track, and hopefully it's not stale, and you're hoping Saquon Barkley is going to come into this game with a little bit more juice, and hopefully the defense, can make some adjustments. But there are some injuries to the Giants with Kayvon Thibodeau on the edge, Andrew Thomas at left tackle, so you should get a turnover on Daniel Jones. I know we say this every week. They should get a turn. They should, we're hoping to God that this defense could help the offense out a little bit and make some plays. So It's winnable beyond. We talked about all these last week, 3 more weeks, including this game, are very beatable games.
Right. Well, I mean, I think when you look at the Giants offensively, I mean, there's only one guy that scares me. Not even scares me, but there's only one threat I see, and that's Neighbors. And if they can, if they can tie him up or take care of him, I don't think the Giants are going to score a lot of points. The Giants don't run the ball that well. I think they're one of the worst rushing teams per average in the league. I think their offensive line is better than it has been in the past, but they just lost their best offensive lineman. So to me, there's no reason why the Eagles defense should not be able to get off the field versus the Giants tomorrow.
No, I agree. I feel like Wan'Dale Robinson on the inside, and he's dropped some crucial balls for Daniel Jones. So the Giants play tough. I mean, they're not gonna fall on their back for you if they're down. They're gonna fight the entire game, and the Eagles can't let off the gas, and that's the way the game's got to go.
King Eagle says 500. I got a feeling the Eagles' game plan is going to be to sling the ball around the yard instead of run. I don't know what. No, you're probably right, because the Eagles love to throw. They love to come out and throw early, and then they want to run late with a lead. But the problem is I think, and I said this in my preview prediction video. You can tell me what you think, but I think a reason why we don't win a lot of these games by more, and why we're struggling, and why these games are all tight, is because we start off so bad. We start off so slow in the first quarters of games, and it takes like a whole quarter and a half to adjust. By that time, you've let the other team hang around, stay around, put points on the board, give them hope, and it always makes it tougher. You have to start better. If this team had games where they were coming out in the first quarter and, they run the ball, go down the field, put points on the board, maybe put 10 points on the board, 14 points on the board, they would be blowing these teams out. And then when you get in a situation where your defense can't stop an offense, a team goes up 21-0 like Tampa does, and you're in trouble. The problem is this offense does not start off well, because I think the game plan coming in, their first 15 scripted plays are so bad that we get, what do we get? We get 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You know what I mean? So that's 5. Literally, if you're getting 3 and outs every drive in the first quarter, that's only like 9 plays,
dude.
12 plays. It's not much.
Literally, it's so embarrassing. 5 opening drives, 22 yards. 23 yards, like 22 to 24 yards.
Yeah.
It's 24 yards in literally 5 games in the opening drives. It's really embarrassing, and they don't make any adjustments to it. I don't get how you don't change it up.
It seems like it takes to about the second half of the second quarter. And if you think about it, if you run 15 scripted plays and you don't get first downs on any of those, that's 5 drives. Or you're running 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. That's like a whole. Of course, that's like a whole quarter. They've got to do a better job coming out. In the first quarter. If they come out in the first quarter, let's say, and they establish the run, they go down and they score points. I think they blow the Giants out. I really do. But if they come out and they're trying to go big play, like, to me, why would you come out of this game? Or why would you go in this Giants game? And why wouldn't you come out and use Barkley? One, Barkley's playing his former team. He's going to be amped up for this game. He's going to want the ball. 2, the Giants have the best pass rush right now in the National Football League. Running the ball nullifies that. 3, you haven't scored any points any first quarter action all year. So all the reasoning and logic tells you should come out and establish the run. I'm not saying you have to run 3 straight downs or you have to give them the ball 10 times in the first 2 drives. All I'm saying is don't be scared to run it. Like they ran on the first play last week. They run the ball for 5 yards, and then it was like
sideline
8 throws
passes
in a row.
Yeah, it was like the same spot.
They need to come out and start better and have a better game plan. And if they do that, they'll kill the Giants, in my opinion.
Yeah, even if they score 10 points in the first quarter, I mean, it's just to get something, like that, it's perfectly fine. But these slow starts are a huge reason why the Eagles keep these games close on top of a lot of other problems. But it would help tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely. Kenny, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, run early, design plays for Cal and Dotson like they did last week, and put Jalen's favorite AJ Smitty in the slot so he can target the middle more. Yeah, definitely need to target the middle of that field more. I agree.
Yeah, Calcaterra played really good last game. Had 2 really big plays. He had 4 or 5 targets, I forgot, but he played well.
Yeah. The Reaper says, Philly, but do you blame Hurts or coaching on that? On the game plan? Is that what we're talking about on the game? On the game plan, the opening drive, the game plan, the first 15 scripted plays are installed by the coaches. So unless Hurts is audibling out of every one of those plays, I don't see how you can blame just the Hurts and the quarterback, because the plays are the plays are badly designed when they come out. And it doesn't seem it matters who the team is. It doesn't seem like they say, all right, we're playing this team this week, and this is what they do good or bad, and this is how we want to attack them. Let's install our first 15 plays in a way that does that. It seems like they always come out and run the same type of 15 plays. So in the first 15 scripted plays, I blame the coaches more than the quarterback.
Yeah, it's happening every game. It's happening every single opening drive,
Fabio, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, the issue is 3 and outs and flags then get still. Yeah, I mean, and then you're going 3 and out, and then the offense comes out and and their offense gets first downs, runs the ball. All of a sudden, time of possession, your defense is out on the field a long time. So it is the way it is. I just think that it'd just be nice to come out, run the ball more. How about maybe some more short passes? Work the middle of the field a little bit, have some nice sustained drives, go down and score. I think that would be nice. It really would be nice to come out and be up 7-0 the first quarter after first drive,
Yeah, I mean, we talked middle of the field a million times. Like even like they didn't run a mesh until like you said, like it was the second quarter, like end of the second quarter almost. They ran that mesh with Devontae Smith for the first down, and then they went back to it in the second half for that touchdown to Devontae Smith. They're just not using it enough. You're going to get killed on the blitz every time if you have nothing running in the middle. You have nothing going middle as your safety blanket or something. I don't know why, but
yeah. Tom says, I already know the first 15 to 20 scripted plays are going to be trash installed by one coach. We know who, and the ownership allows. It's pathetic. Stop trying to win Super Bowl from the skybox. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Let's see here. Some rollouts, some Texas routes, more mesh plays, just more design. The same old stale plays just aren't working. I agree. And then you have these receivers literally all going vertical routes too. Like if you watch some of those plays, like everybody's going 15, 20 yards downfield. I just think better design plays. Now I'm not saying, not by no means, takes Hurts off the hook of what he doesn't do right, because obviously there's things he does wrong too. But I just think a better game plan to start would at least, I think it would help a lot the rest of the game. It might even help your defense out if you think about it. And if you look at the Giants and you look at the way the Giants are, I mean, Giants are not great against the run. They're also not, they give up a lot of yards to receivers. So the Eagles are going to take advantage of that part of it. But I think coming out, establishing the run, being okay with, sustained drives and 6-7 minutes and going down and scoring, I think you set yourself up to be able to do everything else that you want to do later in the game. In my opinion.
I agree.
The Reaper says, Philly, but I see the Eagle fans blaming the coach and giving Hurts the next scapegoat. But to me, they're both. No, well, I don't think you should give Hurts a full escape route. That's never what I'm saying. He's got his faults too. To me, he turns the ball over way too much, holds the ball too long sometimes. All that's true, but at the same time, I do wonder, like, does this guy trust what the coaches are doing? And I say that because of the problems that we had in the summer, and then the problems that they had to work out during the bye week. Like, what is going on behind the scenes that could potentially be causing him to struggle and Sirianni to struggle? Like, they've got to work it out, in my opinion. But no, they're both at fault. But when I talk about the game plan and the opening 15 scripted plays, nah, dude, I blame that on the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of it too. I mean, it's both faults. Like, that's why, like, the biggest fights every week are, is it coaching, or is it the quarterback? And I think it's definitely both, but I don't think they suit the Jalen Hurts' strengths at all. And when your offense is this predictable, it's going to be, Hurts is going to turn into a turnover machine at times. And hang in the pocket too much. If you're running vertical routes literally next to guys in the same area, you're not going to get much. And then what happens when they can't get anything? If the offense can't move the ball at all, they'll throw a deep one to AJ Brown. That's like their escape plan every single time. And sometimes that's not going to work. I like through the first game, short passing game, let these receivers work for the yak yards and stuff like that. Make things simple for Jalen Hurts, even running the football at Saquon Barkley at times, and not getting cute with some of the play calling on maybe some keepers. Or I think they should, if Hurts is going to keep the ball himself, I think it should only happen naturally. It works sometimes, but there's a lot at fault here, and that's where we're at. So
yeah. SHAKESQUAD, thank you for the super chat. Have we considered that the long developing plays downfield are because Hurts likes them? This was every year, but in 22 it worked. We have to evolve. Well, yeah, I mean, but listen, if just because Hurts likes them and all he wants to do is these long developing routes, then who's really then how much power? What control is this coach? What good is he? If you can't say, well, that doesn't always work, you got to pick your timing to do that. But if you listen to what Hurts has said, and you go back to the press conferences earlier, after their last OTA stuff, he talked about wanting the opportunity to have more checkdowns, be able to have different alternate ways, like, to get rid of the ball quicker. He talked about not going deep every play. I mean, he literally talked about this stuff and wanting to change this stuff and having the issues with Sirianni about this stuff. So he's either talking out both sides of his mouth, or or he's running the asylum, because the truth of the matter is just because he likes to do all routes where they're downfield, that doesn't make it smart, and it doesn't mean you do it. You got to do what's best for the team, and you have to have some short passes and stuff intertwined in that. It just doesn't make sense to me that he would say all that stuff and then it not being true. I just don't know.
I think they're bumping heads, honestly. I think there's dual play calling, which it should not happen. But if the checkdown's there, take it. Like, you're not challenging the defense or making the defense worry about anything else happening when you just want to gunsling it all day. It's just not going to work that way. All it's going to do is help a defensive pass rush. It's going to help them blitz more against you, and it's going to result in Jalen Hurts falling on his ass every play, and that's what happens. Like, when's the last time they checked the ball down multiple times? It's been a while. When's the last time the running backs have been involved in the passing game? Where's Will Shipley? Well, I mean, seriously, there's like Kellen Moore's bread and butter with the running backs, especially if you watch like Austin Eckler from last year at the Chargers. Man, that guy was very balanced between his. It was like 400 rushing and like 600 receiving. Like you don't see these running backs in the passing game, and that's a whole nother weapon of itself that you can use. And you have the backs to do it, and there's just things that just make no sense.
Well, here's the other thing I'll say about it is why. See, it's hard for me to believe that Jalen is basically forcing them to not do anything short or that he only wants these certain plays. It's hard for me to believe that's only the case when you've had Nick Sirianni, who started the offseason by saying, I'm no longer calling the plays. I'm not running the offense. I'm not doing it. That's what he said. Then it went from that to, well, I help out with the installation during a week. Then it is, yeah, I'm calling plays here or there. How come we're going into that shift? And then all of a sudden, as we seem to be shifting into where he's admitting calling more plays, we're seeing the same old problems creep up. Let's get him out of the way. And so where Nick says, I don't call the plays. I'm not installing. I'm not involved. It's Kellen Moore. And then if we see the same things happening, then it's easy to go, there you go. There's a problem. It's Jalen. That's the easiest way to figure it out if it's a problem or not, to me. Yeah. But if you look how it's gone from Nick not calling any plays to all of a sudden we're back to it, where even then there was accusations made about him calling defensive plays, and then Vic Fangio came out and said that wasn't true, but the explanation that Fangio gave to me made no sense whatsoever. I think he was covering for him.
I think it was situational. He said like it was, he didn't call the play, but he recommended, I don't know, some type of, I don't know. I don't.
But why would Nick feel the need to say that? Like why is he saying that? I guess I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to be impossible to ever really know who's at fault until we take Nick out of the equation.
Yes, and I think that his behavior has been weird too. Even like, I don't care what was said to the fans in the stands, and then he's literally just answers that post-game press conference of excitement and this and that. And he got ripped for that, and then the next day he apologized for it. If he thought he was right about doing that, why did he apologize the next day? I think he made himself look like an idiot. I think Jeffrey Lurie told him to apologize or try to make it right. Like there's weird, on top of what's going on with this offense and how involved he is, like his behavior, he's just got some weird stuff going on. And it's not the culture. I don't know if he has really firm control over that still.
No.
Keep these guys upright. No.
Yeah, and there's not, and listen, and I'm not saying there's only one issue with this team, and it's Nick. No, you have all sorts of things going on. You have Nick maybe calling the plays and getting involved, and then Jalen Hurts does things like misses open guys, doesn't trust guys, holds the ball too long. He makes his own mistakes, but when you put it all together, it comes out to look the way it's been looking. Mm-hmm. There's not just one problem. There's multitude of different issues going on. But the one thing that I see, and I think is the biggest issue that can be fixed, is I think the slow starts and being ready to play can be changed. You can do a better job with what you guys are going to call in the game plan going into a game. And, and you can do a better job at that, and you can fix that. And then we can go on to the next problem. To me, these things are fixable.
Yeah, 100%.
Army David Super Chat goes, I want a comfortable win, not on the verge of having a stroke all games. I know. And that's going to require, in my opinion, that requires a good start. You got to start. I'm trying to catch up to this chat real quick. Mike David Super Chat goes, front office is the issue. They have too much power. Yeah, I agree, because I don't know how much of their influence on what Nick is doing, are they using Nick as like a front man to call analytical plays that they want them to run? I don't know. It's all possible.
Possibly.
Yeah. Ian 890 said Nick should have been gone last year. That was my opinion at the time. That was my opinion at the time, but he's not. He's here. And now it's just like you just got all this weird stuff going on. The guy comes back from the bye week. He looks like, he looked like he was hanging out with Britney Spears in a gas station somewhere, shaved his head, fighting with the fans. The press conference, he brings his kids. People are saying that he's doing it to hide. Like, what? This is all craziness stuff, man. This is all weird stuff.
Yeah, it's been weird for a bit, and I don't think. I mean, look, you want to flex a 4-point win over the Browns, then I don't know what to tell you, but I think that was just ridiculous. But
Right.
Should just ran the tunnel.
Right. Richie says, we need a leader on the offense. Coaches cannot lead from the sideline. Quarterbacks make the big bucks for a reason. Yeah, but listen, I think coaches can lead to a certain point from the sideline. You do need players that are leaders too. And if you want to rip Jalen for that, or say he's not a leader, I don't know. To me, everything we always heard about Jalen Hurts was great leadership, great guy. The players love him. They'll go to war with him. The question is, it comes back to this one thing. Is it because of Jalen, or is it because of Nick? I don't know. To me, I still say you have to take Nick out of the equation, and then, and in that way, give everybody else the opportunity to succeed one way or the other. If Jalen doesn't believe in what Nick is doing with the offense, if he doesn't believe in it, I think it's set up to fail then, because he's going to try to do things out of his character in order to help the team and help the offense. You're going to hold the ball too long. You're not going to trust certain throws. You're going to turn over the ball more. And it just seems like it would all compound. I don't know. I've never heard anybody say Jalen Hurts wasn't a good leader on this team. I've never heard that. So now, I know what it looks like when they show him on the sideline and he's sitting on the bench and he's just looking at him, and he's by himself. It's not a good look. But do they just show it at that point in time when they know it's not a good look? Or is that what's going on the whole time? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I think like I said, I think they've definitely been bumping heads nonstop, and I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to get fixed. I think Hurts is just tired of running what Nick wants to run. And look, I understand he's making money. Like I think one of the big mistakes that Hurts made, I think from Jason Kelce from calling the protections, I think that was a big mistake, because now Hurts has never done that. Now he's getting paid, and now he's learning new things that every quarterback in the league should be doing. And I think that's a whole nother thing on top of it. But it's until I know for a fact that when, like you said, when Nick is officially gone and he's done, and we know that someone's behind, that's, if he's not in the building, that I could trust that I could say that someone else is calling the plays and to try to get him to be successful on the field until I see it. But I'm not even saying fire Nick. All I'm saying is go back to what the original plan was the all season, that Kellen Moore was in charge of the installation of the offense, the play calling of the offense, and what they were going to do. Make that known, make that clear. The Eagles are the only team where it is unclear who's running things. So let's make that clear, and let's take Nick out of the equation. That way, we know if it's Jalen 100%. Otherwise, guys like Richie say that he's not a leader, or somebody say this about him. I'll say, yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I can't say for sure. But I can't say for sure because you got this head coach who seems like he's in the way of things. Mad Tight David Super Chat goes, good evening, boys. If we don't get Barkley a career day, fire that shaved head Pizza Hut eating poor excuse for coach out of here. Thank you for super chat, man. I hear you. But see, this is like Twit said here, like, and this is what's crazy, because this was never said. This never ever came out of my mouth or Joey's mouth. Blaming Nick for Hurts being a turnover machine is wild. That is never what we said. Never ever said that. What we say about Jalen is his turnovers. Jalen's biggest problem is his turnovers. Has to cut down his turnovers. His turnovers kill us. We made him responsible for that. Never said that was on Nick. I don't believe it's on Nick. I do believe that
some of the reasons
But
contributing to why, maybe because he doesn't like the offense.
But people that say that, like, they make it seem like they could throw any quarterback in this system, and maybe with a better passing quarterback that has a better arm or just can read the field better. Maybe it'll be better. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but it's just I can't just look past the coaching staff, and especially what happened last year. I can't just look past the coaching staff and just say it's 99% Jalen Hurts and 1% the coaching staff, because it's all execution. And, it comes down to play calling. It comes down, yes, the turnovers are crazy. He's not playing great, but it comes down to route combinations. And if you're not running routes in the middle of the field, I mean, cover zero blitz is going to kill us. Blitzing Jalen Hurts, that's how you beat Jalen Hurts now. You don't. That's all it takes at this point. Not running the ball enough with your $12 million back, not getting them in the receiving game. I mean, throwing the same type of passes to the sideline over and over again, not even catchable, like throwing a deep ball, like as your cop-out play, when you can't really move the ball or can really do anything else, getting your tight ends involved enough. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things they're not doing on a consistent basis. Like, I can't just pass the coaching staff and say it's all Hurts, but Hurts, like I said, like you can't have tunnel vision. You got to look at it from both. You gotta blame both at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's both fault. It's both fault. There's both fault on both ends. But my point is that they're both at fault. But the quickest way to figure out how and if you can fix it is to take Nick out of the equation, and then you can find out what exactly is Jalen, what exactly was Nick, and if it can be fixed.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
And you find out if Nick is gone, then you find out was this really a Nick problem, or is this a front office to pushing the analytics problem?
The front office is definitely a problem.
Because I understand fans will watch other games like, oh, let's go get Ben Johnson. It's not that easy, because a head coach that comes in here, like, just say the Eagles are going to hire Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's still making his decision to come to Philadelphia, but the front office is like, this is what we want. This is how you should run your offense through these analytics. And, we want Jalen Hurts here. If you don't want him, you can't have the job. There might be a head coach that walks in here and doesn't like Jalen Hurts. There's probably a lot of coaches that don't think he's a starting quarterback. Probably not. It wouldn't shock me. So they're going to hire some lame ducky yes man head coach that we've never heard of, that's never even should even have the job, and that's when you're really going to find out, and that's when you're really going to know. And I'm not going to say that Kellen Moore's getting a head coaching job. I'm not even saying that. I'm waiting until the end of the year to see what this whole thing looks like.
I don't even know how we could judge Kellen Moore at this point. That's my whole point. I don't know how we judge any of these guys, because we don't know. We all just think we know where the faults lie. We really don't. We think it maybe Hurts, it may be Nick. I think it's probably Nick more than anybody. A lot of guys, people think it's probably Jalen Hurts. I don't think we'll know until we can take Nick out of the power of having any control over the offense, and then we can start together. And like I said, I don't even think fire him. But, maybe Nick is just running cover for the front office, and they're telling them what they want in there. Who knows? I don't know, but it's weird. Saquon, David Super Chat goes, Hurts is no longer a running threat that he was in 22. A lot of continuing issues are Hurts and not Sirianni. Moore doesn't throw to backs now. No, listen, I think that Hurts isn't the runner he was in 20. He doesn't look like it. That's for sure. But I do agree. I do disagree that it's the continuing issues are more on Hurts and not Sirianni. I don't find that to be the case. Or at least I don't think. I can't say for sure. But I think they're more of a Nick issue than Jalen. But you might be right. Let's take Nick out of the offensive equation, and then let's start to see. How about that?
I mean, I think the proof was already there when Shane Steichen left this offense, and there's your answer. Like it hasn't been. I mean, if they haven't took any, even last year they didn't take any plays from Shane Steichen's playbook. I mean, even Brian Johnson, that was around Shane Steichen the entire year, you would have thought after 22, Brian Johnson was next to him the whole entire year. So you figured that maybe, Brian Johnson would have brought something to the table, but that wasn't the case until we found out mid-year that the game plan has been 100% Nick Sirianni. And for this thing to continue for another year, like there's way too much on Nick there's way too much on Nick right now since after 22. And that's just me, but.
Yeah. Father David Super Chat, man, front office only wants big plays for wide receivers. Yeah, David Super Chat. Yeah, I mean, they want they want to win a certain way. They don't care. It seems like they don't care how they win, or they do care how they win. It has to be a certain way. Donnie says Donnie Ford says pass, unsustainable. I agree. Twist David Super Chat. He goes, Historiani X about the curb stomp the lead. Historiani X is that what we're calling him now? Okay. Father David Super Chat goes, once Wentz got paid, he was never the same in play. True. But remember, Wentz asked for a trade. Remember that.
Right. That was different.
Shizzle David Super Chat goes, it's clear the quarterback can't run the pro style offense. 3 offensive coordinators. It looks like the same. Kellen Moore isn't going to call plays. He can't execute. He is going to expose them. It's literally 3 offensive coordinators. One of them looked different. 2 of them, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is it right? But the argument is either it's Nick forcing it or Jalen is demanding these are the plays. So, the opposite argument is that Jalen can only do these things. That's why we keep looking the same and things haven't changed. I don't think that's the case. I think it's because Nick is demanding things. But we just don't know. Private David Super Chat. When Nick stepped away from the offense, Hurts had an all-pro season. Agreed. But, we're worried. Nick's fighting with fans now, and everybody's talking about that all week instead of talking about why this team came out and was not ready to play the Cleveland Browns. Why did the offense look so bad? It's annoying. Cheers with David Super Chat. He goes, if you watch the 22 film, he really threw a lot of balls to A.J. Smith and double covered the ball bounce our way a lot. And now we ain't so lucky. No, well, listen. There's no doubt about it that he only seems to trust those 2 guys, really. That is true.
You didn't have both of them for a game. I understand that too, but there was nothing designed for Jahan Dotson just seems like just a waste. I mean, a total waste right now. You're telling me right now they couldn't have designed anything for him? I mean, Paris Campbell seems to be the only one that they've trusted, and it's not even by that much because he scored a touchdown and he barely really did anything. But no one else being involved is just really weird to me. It just is. I don't know.
I mean, where this thing is heading, if everybody is right about Jalen and the coach, and you're going to have to clean house. You're going to have to clean all 3 of them.
You can't. Yeah, because you can't keep one. It's because if you like I said, if it's a front office issue, then you're going to have to. No, then we're going to be screwed for years. I mean, that's just what we're going to have to deal with.
They're going to have to change their philosophy.
Yeah, 100%.
Sewell Blaze, America for 29 months. He goes, what's up, fellas? What's going on, my man?
What's up, Sewell?
Shane O'Mac, they were super chat. He goes, it's not more when it comes to screens to running backs or check downs to running back. It's all Hurts. He'd rather chuck it down the field, it seems. Not saying Sirianni doesn't have a hand in it, just how it looks. It does look like that at times. I agree. But there are times also where it's there is nobody to check down to.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody to check down to at all. And, I listen, I don't know. All I know is we want the best for this team. I don't know how much is on Nick, how much is on Jalen. I just know the quickest way to find out the answers to all of that is to take Nick out of the equation of being part of the offense. Don't let him be. Just let him call the plays, call the downs, let him manage. Let Moore have complete control. When we come to the press conferences, it should be clear as day. Nick gets a question about the offense. I don't know. I didn't install the plays. I don't call the offense. That's what I want to hear. Then, if the same things are happening, then you have every right to go after Jalen, and I'll even do it myself.
Yeah, of course.
But you're right. It does look that way. Big Dog, they were super chat. He goes, so we're going to act like we didn't see Barkley shake his head no after Nick called the timeout and changed the play to Barkley missing the catch against the Falcons. I don't remember him calling no. I don't remember that exact thing, so I can't really call it out.
Yeah,
but
I didn't even hear that.
We the Barkley drop in the past. I mean, we killed Barkley for that when it happened. Rightfully so. We said, he catches that, we win the game. He's got to catch that ball. There's no excuse. There is none.
Yeah.
We're not avoiding that play. No, he's got to catch that ball. There's no question about it. That costs us the game. Agreed.
Yeah, that's literally one play away from 4-1. I mean, literally, that's one play away from 4-1 at that point. But you look at that play. You look at the 4th and 3, or sorry, the third. What was it? The 3rd and 1 after Barkley couldn't get across the. When it didn't find the first down marker, made a mistake, and it was 3rd and 1, and they drop. They don't even run the ball. You drop Jalen back, and you get blitzed, and it's just and then it turned into a tie game on a blocked field goal. So I mean, there's just weird things that happen. Like there's just some plays that just don't make sense on specific downs. I don't know.
Yeah. 500, did you get some left-handed cigars from over the border from your daddy, Mark Holmes? Mark is not my daddy. I'm basically his daddy. But no, I didn't get any cigars from Mark. CECC Vet, they were super chat. Goes, Jalen has been missing big reads going back to last season. It's who he is, and I don't think he can fix it. Well, if you can't fix it, then you're going to need another quarterback, and that's just the way it is. Slick Davis super chat. Shane ran an RPO offense with Hurts, and it worked in 22 greatly. The other offensive coordinators don't do that, and it does limit Hurts, and it shows. Yeah, listen, I would not mind seeing more RPOs in this offense, but when they signed him to big money, they will also trying to add years to the length of his career, so they cut it back. But he looks slower than he did in 2022, though. It just goes to show you. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's weird because you remember how many times they ran play action last year? Why are you running so much play action when you're not even running the football? The
right.
Play action and the running game comes hand in hand. No defenses are going to bite on play action if you're not running the football. Then they're running the football this year, and there's no play action. There's something totally wrong.
If they don't bite on play action actually hurts you because it means you're holding the ball an extra second longer.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't run play action and then roll them out. You know what I mean? Buy him time. James, thank you for super chat. He goes, Howie Roseman contract goes for 2025. Do we extend him or do we find a new GM? My opinion of what they need to do at Howie is they need to keep him as a GM, but they need to get a talent evaluator that will be in charge of who they want to draft, who they want to sign. That's what they need to do. But I don't know if they'll ever do it. But Howie's not responsible.
Realistically, they haven't. I don't think he's had a right-hand man at all as of recent. Joe Douglas was one. The guy that went to I forgot the other guy that we had in the building that went to the Steelers. I forgot his name. He was another guy. Andrew Berry was another guy. He's the GM for the Browns. He hasn't had a right-hand man. He's really been doing everything on his own. But he really needs to the philosophy needs to change. He needs to stick to drafting. And I think there is a collaborative effort when it comes to drafting. Whether it's some hits, some misses, more hits, I would say. I think it definitely has to change, no doubt. So,
yeah. Antonio says pre-snap moving has reduced tremendously. I wonder why. Yeah. Shizo, thank you for super chat, my man. He says you got to understand he's changing the plays at the line based on what he sees. You don't know what's actually being called. They could be trying to use the middle. Yeah, I mean, depending upon how much he's actually changing up the plays, that's a huge factor. Huge factor. You know, listen, all I know is I hope they figure this out starting tomorrow. You've got to be 4-2 tomorrow, right? And you got to come out. And we could argue all day about whether it's Jalen or Nick. It's going to be argued for a long time, I'm sure. But you know, at the end of the day, you got a game tomorrow, and you got to be ready to play. You got an NFC East battle against the Giants, who, you know, I don't think they're the worst team in the league. I don't think they're the best team in the league, but you know, the Giants usually play us, at least most of the time, it's tough until the fourth quarter, and then we usually blow it open. But you know, Giants are going to be ready tomorrow. I'm sure Barkley's going to get booed. I would assume he gets booed tomorrow. And, you know, I think it's a big game, like, you know, because if you lose tomorrow and you got then the Bengals in Cincinnati, you still got Washington twice, like this would be a bad loss to take. You've got to take care of business and you got to be ready. And I think you have to come out tomorrow. And you have to be ready to play. Like, to me, the key tomorrow is how they start off.
Yeah. Plus, it's a division game. Like, it's the first division game of the season. Like, you want to have some extra energy on games like this. But yeah, fast start definitely helps. But you know, you're not going to get away with this down the road when you have to face Detroit, when you have to face Baltimore. Like, you're going to get away with these close games, whether you're losing by a couple points, you win by a point to 3 points to 10 points, whatever the case may be. But you got to fix this quick before you face these much more better teams later on, because you're going to get embarrassed. It's only a matter of time. So.
Yeah, I agree. Jack Stroll says, I got blocked. No, you did not get blocked. I would not. Nobody would be able to see this comment if you were blocked. You did not get blocked, and you shouldn't get blocked. I don't know why. Why would anybody want to block you? You know. Did you have the Giants don't have a run? Yeah, they don't. Let's see. All right, I'm back. Probably a mistake, I guess. But did you get time? Did you get timed out, or did you?
Maybe.
You got maybe timed out. If you got timed out, I'm sorry. I have no. I did not see anything to do with that. So, I don't know why you would have been. You shouldn't have been, but you're not blocked. Dad says we play down to teams. That's true. That's true. We do. We play down to teams, it seems. Easy says, I'll end the argument of Hurts Sirianni. If Hurts, you can't give him a clear, uncreative coach like Nick to make it even harder for him. Look at Darnold in Minnesota. He had it. I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, that's the perfect. That's really the perfect example. Like, it's not like Darnold goes from team to team and he's like a productive quarterback. Like, they haven't found anything in him for a while, and look what he's doing over there. And you know what? If you want to find a creative offense for Jalen Hurts, maybe like you're saying, it's not creative enough. Hurts might have limitations to running a specific offense, and if that's the case, then we've seen him play at a high level, but it just hasn't been the same. We can go back and forth on this all day.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Kenny, thank you for super chat, man. He goes, no coach should just sit there, quote, well, Jalen wants deep passes replaced. What can I do? Be a coach. Design plays a rollout. We saw Calcaterra. Just do it more. Help your quarterback get your team out. I 100% agree. That's why it's hard for me to believe when they're just like, well, Jalen doesn't like to do anything but throw deep. I just don't buy it, especially when Jalen said that he wanted more ability to audible. He wanted more abilities to be able to check it down, more short. I mean, that's what he said that he wanted. So I don't know. I agree with you, Kenny. I think you're right on. Mal says, if you don't rate Hurts as much, that's fine. But they say, hell, it's all his fault. Let's trash him when I can't help you. You're just stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah, listen, it's not all Hurts. It's not all Hurts. And like I said, I want to see the offense be controlled by Kellen Moore and let run by him without influences of what Nick wants to do. And when I see that and I know that for sure, then I can really judge appropriately, I think.
Yeah, true.
But tomorrow's I want to talk about tomorrow's game a little bit. I feel like it's all about Jalen and Nick, but truth is, man, we got a big game and we got a lot of questions to answer, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball. Jalen Carter now has showed up on the injury report with a bad shoulder, so he's probably going to play. But I mean, we're going to be playing on the worst field possible tomorrow.
Yeah, bad.
So there's concern about that. Darius Slay was hurt last week. Do you think Isaiah Rodgers will see more plays, or you think Slay will just be out there the whole time? And let me ask you this: how would you play Neighbors tomorrow? Do you think the Eagles would actually put like Quinyon Mitchell and just let him shadow him, or Slay, or you think they're just going to move Neighbors all around to where they find the weakness in the defense and then just expose it?
It could be a free for all. Yeah, it could be a free for all. I don't see them taking one guy and following. I mean, that would be great. Like we used to do that.
Awesome.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But
that's what I would do. That's what I would do. That's how I would play him.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, Slay, you think you're the best corner on this team? You still got it? Go shadow Neighbors all day. Shut them down. Seriously. And that's how I would play it. They won't do that though. And let me tell you, the pass rush, I think, is an important game, especially with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones stinks. And Daniel Jones is a guy that wants to turn over the ball. However, if you give Daniel Jones time, he's eventually going to find the wide open guys too. He's more than capable of making throws. So, you have to get to Daniel Jones. If you get to Daniel Jones, it's an easy day. So are the Eagles going to be willing to blitz? I love the way they blitzed DeJean. I would keep blitzing his ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even Zach Bond as well, depending if they do the 5-man front, but they're out of left tackle. Devin Singletary is not something that you're really worried about in the backfield at all. So,
yeah, go over here. Darius Slays and Roger Dorn from Major League. That's funny. Yeah, it's just like, I need Slay. I need Slay to have a big game, man. I really look at the Giants. I say, all right, there's really one threat, one guy that you worry about is Neighbors, a rookie coming back from a concussion injury. Shut him down. Take him away. I don't care. Put 2 guys on him if you have to, and then get pressure on Daniel Jones. You will win this game. Giants can't run the ball, dude. I think I forget what their average. I think it's like 3-point-something yards a carry.
Yeah, it's not much
by running backs. It's not much at all. And then they give up 5.2 yards on the ground. So they give up 5.2 yards a carry. Every 2 carries is a first down. Now tell me why you would not come out and use Saquon Barkley tomorrow.
I know.
It doesn't make sense to me. To me, Barkley should have 20 to 25 carries tomorrow. I'm talking about carries. Not
touches, right.
Yeah. He can get another 3-4 catches as far as I'm concerned. But, I mean, I think you've got to run the ball and then stop the run against the Giants and put pressure on Daniel Jones. Their running game doesn't threaten me. They don't scare me with the big plays. Daniel Jones, probably Neighbors, and then Daniel Jones running the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Plays are the 2 things I worry about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Daniel Jones to run. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
How do you feel about how do you go ahead, read that. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
How do you feel about do you think Fred Johnson's gonna hold up for Mulata now being out 4 weeks? Do you think Beckham will soon? I don't think Fred Johnson is going to last for 4 weeks. I don't. I think they're gonna move Brian Burns over there. Even for this game. Teams are gonna, unless Beckham moves and Tyler Steen comes in at right guard, I don't know if Fred Johnson will last that long. So I don't know what you think about that.
Well, I mean, Fred Johnson gave up a lot of pressure last week. I think now Kevon Thibodeau is not playing. That's a break for the Eagles because you put those. The one thing the Giants do really good is they rush the passer. So yeah, I think it's going to be a problem. I do think it's going to be an issue, and I do think it's going to be just something we have to deal with. Maybe they help him out. Maybe they help him with a running back, keep a tight end in at times. I don't know. But I think that Giants pass rush I mean, they've been good all year. That's been their strength. And Dexter Lawrence is a havoc. I mean, he is what you want Jordan Davis to be, really. He has 7 sacks this year, 7 already. I mean, he's ridiculous. So to me, that pressure is going to be there. And if Jalen's holding the ball too long, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. My biggest fear is because the Giants give up a lot of yards to receivers, that the Eagles are going to come out thinking we can go deep against the Giants. And they're going to run a lot. They're going to do their typical stuff instead of giving Barkley the ball. I would come out and I would feature Barkley, dude.
Right.
I would run Barkley. I'd run him early. I'd try to methodically go down the field. Even if you want to catch Barkley, in a wheel route, take a shot with Barkley in a wheel route like you did versus the Green Bay week 1.
Where's that?
I think that's open. But I mean, to me, it's criminal if you come out and you don't run the ball. It just seems like every metric, every statistical point would tell you, and I would assume the analytics would say the same thing. Run Barkley early and establish that run. They give up 5.2 yards a carry, Joey. Carry. Easy says double neighbors make someone beat you. This is preschool knowledge, right? Agreed. It's not open heart surgery, dude. It really it isn't. And we got about 600 people in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. If you're new, hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. We appreciate it. Roll Philly Dog says, would y'all still be interested in Chase Young? I mean, for the right price, fine.
He's lost his step.
He's not going to. If I could do better, I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you could do better than that.
Yeah. Let's see. Johnson did so last week on Garrett. Have faith, fellas. He will do fine. I mean, I think he'll be all right. But I do think that you're playing a better pass rush this week than you played before.
Yes, 100%.
Let's see. LeBron, if y'all dull neighbors, y'all still got to worry about Wendell. I don't worry about Wendell Robinson, who showed out when neighbors. I take Robinson. I'm not worried about Robinson, to be honest with you. Like I'm not saying he's not capable, but I think the Eagles will be fine. I take neighbors out of it, and then I say beat me with somebody else.
Yeah, well, I think having DeJean playing, if Maddox was playing, then I'd probably worry about Wandale a little more. And I think Wandale will have some. I think Wandale will have some catches. And I think Wandale is pretty good in the slot. And I like
he's all right. Yeah,
in different ways. But yeah, with DeJean there now, I feel a little bit better. Not saying they're going to close them up too much, but I think they can contain them a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't mean I ain't trying to be disrespectful to Robinson. I'm not. I just think that Neighbors is a guy who, to me, can put up the big numbers against you. Roll for the Dog says, only reason I say Young is that the Saints likely trade him, and it wouldn't take a lot of draft comp. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not to this point. At this point, I'm not opposed to anybody that will help the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting seeing what DeJean does tomorrow, though. I thought he had a really good game last week, and I like the way that they used him. In the run blitz and stuff. I'd like to see more of that. Yeah. Antonio Holmes says Chase Young stats are better than our ends. So we can't dismiss them. No, I'm not dismissing them.
But I mean, but I mean, what does that say? I mean, I think a lot of edge rushers have better statistics than what our guys have as an entire group combined for the year. You know,
I don't know if the Eagles like him. Like, you wonder if some of these guys like him, and you look at like Jadeveon Clowney. Like, there was, for a team that needed pass rushers, this team showed zero interest in both of those guys. Mm-hmm. They never showed any interest in them.
No.
You know, Robert says, just want the Eagles to once come out and jump on the Giants and put I do too. I mean, I'm dying for them to just come out and score, 2 touchdowns on their opening 2 drives. Like, when's the last time we saw that? I mean, you guys remember the Super Bowl year? We scored early. We had leads at halftime. Like, it'd be like 28-6, 28-10.
Yeah.
And then we would take the foot off the gas, and
Right.
then the teams would come back. That was
Every
the
game.
problem then. Now we allow these teams to stay in the games early, and then they think that, hey, we have a chance. And then if their offense is scoring points like Atlanta, then all of a sudden you're down 21-0 before you could blink. I mean, not Atlanta, but Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So I would love it too, but I like I said, I go back to the beginning of this. I believe that starts with a good game plan, coming out ready to play, coming out with a game plan that's going to work, and scripting 15 plays that are effective. You can't just be looking for them. I mean, they threw what, like over 25 yards, like 5 times on their first 2 drives last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I don't know.
It's 3rd and 2. They throw 30 yards, you know. Lucas Roof, thank you for the super chat, man. He goes, how would you feel about signing free agent wide receiver Quez Watkins? I think he could bring a much-needed speed to this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need any more Butterfingers. I'll have to say no. Dylan George, Daver super chat. He goes, just called my wife. Uh-oh. She said she's waiting for Joey to get off the stream so they can go down to business. Hurry up, Joey. We got church.
All right.
We got
Fucking
church
weirdo.
in the morning. Church. Why are you complaining because we don't win by 20? Why are we not complaining? I'm not complaining that we don't win by 20.
No.
What we're complaining about is that every single week going back to last year, this team for the first half of games are dead. They look like they didn't even want to show up. And what we're saying is you got to play better early on. And if they did that, there would be some games where they end up blowing out teams. But because they start so slow, you're making all these games come down to the last second. Much harder than they need to be.
And you're facing the lesser talent on your schedule right now. Like you beat the Browns by 4 points. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you haven't faced Detroit. You haven't faced, Baltimore yet. You don't know what you're going to look like. It's going to be night and day what you can look like against those better teams. So that's why we're saying, like, I'm not saying we have to, it would be nice to have a dominating performance because the Eagles haven't had that besides that Green Bay game, they haven't had a dominating performance like that since the NFC Championship game in 22. I mean, that's how long it's been.
Well, I think that I think you would have some of those if they started off better. Clark, thank you for the super chat. Goes Joey 500. Just watched the first 2 episodes of Tulsa King. Great show. Also, game thoughts on Saquon usage. I think Saquon. I actually think the Eagles are going to do what we're talking about. I have a feeling tomorrow they are going to come out and use Saquon. And my conspiracy theory on that is that they purposely didn't use him last week a lot because they were saving him for this week. So I actually think they're going to use him more. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Saquon has 20 carries tomorrow for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say that. And I'll even give you I think the Eagles are going to win this game 28-17. I think that all the things we're complaining about, I think are going to get resolved because we're complaining about it. If we didn't complain about it, it would never happen. But the fact that we are, of course it happens. That's what I say. Joey is frozen. Look at that look. Joey, you're frozen. Look at that look. Somebody clip that. Clip that. That is like the ultimate look. That's what you look. That's what Eagle fans look like on 3rd and 23.
I hope you're right. That's all I gotta say.
Can you see yourself all frozen?
No, I'm frozen right now.
You're frozen right now.
All right, let me leave and come back.
It's hilarious. It's the greatest look ever.
I'll come back.
Oh shit! I was gonna grab a picture of it. Did you guys see that? Or was that just me? Right? Is it Saquon's fault the coaches didn't use him? Was it Swiss fault he wasn't used more last year? People blame Gene 100% for the script. The adjustments are insane. I agree. Yeah, because when they make the adjustments and they start to adjust, they start to win. It's like the talent takes over. You know. There you go. You're back now. You were frozen. That was kind of funny. Let's see. 49ers stink. But I think the 49ers are going to lose tomorrow. Skidmark says 23 carries, 168 yards, 3 receptions for. Oh my gosh, that would be a monster game. That would be a monster.
It'd be great.
Yeah, Saquon 18 carries. I like it. Oh, clip that. Send it to me. Good. Yeah, we're gonna have to use that. That could go on a shirt. It's like you could put like, where's my wife? Where's your wife? And just have that look. It was great. Oh, it was hilarious. Locknick in the locker room says, Big Dog, for the game, let Kellen call the plays on his own. See how different offense run and then run the mother humping ball. There you go. Run that mother humping ball. There you go. Look at he's got the he already put that on your thumbnail, J-Dog. Look at it.
I ain't looking.
No, look at it. It's great. It's
great.
I
see it. I see it.
It's awesome, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Y'all ain't scared. No, Dexter Lawrence definitely is scary. Dexter Lawrence is great. That picture is awesome. That's got to go on a shirt. You have to put down a shirt. And Sean Davis, man, text me, email me back, man, what you were saying, because I didn't get that first email. Dev says Saquon has 18 carries last game. He just couldn't get through the hole. Yeah, last week was his worst game, I thought. You know, I thought it was his worst game. It was. I'm surprised he had 18 carries, though. God.
Didn't seem like it.
He must have had a lot of carries. Well, see, the Eagles, they always have the same game plan. Come out throwing and then run late. Come out throwing and run late. That's what they want to do, no matter who they play. Even if it's not the best thing. You know, skid marks, thank you for super chat. There it is. That is great. Joey, that's an awesome picture. I'm totally taking that picture and putting it in my contacts. I think it's awesome.
Great.
I love it. I would buy that shirt. May the force be with you.
Yeah.
He had 12 in the first half. Yeah, the first 3 series he had 1 carry, so they all came in the second quarter. But I think that Browns game was Saquon's worst game. Hopefully tomorrow. I mean, dude, I think they're going to boom. I would assume they're going to boom, and I'm going to assume he wants to have a big game tomorrow. So let's do it. Let's give him his chance.
He's going to have some extra juice tomorrow. Come on now.
What do you think? What do you think the final score is going to be? The T-shirt says, "Have you seen my?" Joey says, "I don't know."
I'll say 24-17. Just because I hate doing score predictions now.
I know. I always make you do them. 49ers, I've 500. Thank you, 49ers, man. Appreciate it. What up, House Nelson? Yes. Oh, man. I got 28-17. I think the Eagles win. I think tomorrow's going to be their second best win of the season. I don't know. I feel like all the Nick stuff with the off the field, him yelling at the fan, I feel like that's going to become some sort of rallying cry for this team. I kind of feel like it's going to work the opposite, and they're going to rally around it. I got a feeling the Eagles are going to. I think they're going to play good tomorrow. I think they're going to play good. So
hopefully
we'll see. 23-13. I like it. And I think if they come out and they run the ball, man, I really think they'll blow this team out.
And hopefully it's going to be injury-free game as well. That's not going to take a toll on us.
That field is bad, dude. You know, they talked to Mekhi Becton. He's like, I hate going back there and playing on that field.
He had a lot to say this week. He had a lot to say.
I like Mekhi Becton, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. Simo Mob, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, Joey looks like John Favreau. Laugh out loud. I got 2013. I love it. I love it. Brian's got 31-20. I like it. Mr. International, 38-13. I like it. Is Joey going to the game? That's why he ain't his setup. No, Joey is not home tonight. I'll let you would. People are asking where you're at and stuff.
Oh.
He doesn't want to tell you. Dylan Jordan Davis Super Chat. He goes, it's all love, Joey. I don't care how long you keep my wife. That's messed up. Joey had to go somewhere, so.
Wait, what happened? You hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Okay.
Why, did you say something?
No, I was just wondering. I didn't know if you heard me or not.
Oh. We heard somebody moaning.
Yeah, there's people upstairs.
Mm-hmm. You guys hear that moaning? Pound Philly Shakedown. I think you both are doing a great job with this and both of your podcasts. But thank you, Michael, man. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, with somebody going,
No.
Yeah, no. I swear to God, it sounded like that. I swear to God. I swear that's what it sounded like.
Right.
I'm telling you. Did you guys hear it too, or is it just me? The Giants like to play to the right and pass to the left. Look at the Seattle game. Interesting. I will have to check it out. Let's see. Joey, I don't know what that means. Joey, I heard that moan too. Joey, pan the camera. Don't want to read that. But nah. Are you streaming tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be streaming too. I'm doing a doubleheader. I'll be doing the Eagles game, and then I'll be doing the whatchamacallit, the Washington Carolina game, which is probably going to be a blowout. I'm hoping Carolina can make it a game. Simo Mob, Denver Super Chat goes, do we see Hurts under center more tomorrow? My guess would probably be no, but it would be nice though. Yeah, I would say great. Probably not, but it would be nice. I think why not? There it is. There you go. There you go. Joey's got a little friend. See, that's what everybody was asking about. That's the noise you guys heard was the dog. It's a cute dog. What kind of dog is that?
I don't even know, actually. Not sure.
How old is it? Hi, bud.
Not even a year.
Hi, doggy.
Puppy.
Hi. Ruff, ruff. Ruff, ruff. Oh, cute dog. Man, I want a dog. I need to get a dog. Select David Super Checks. Michael getting his first interception versus Mitchell. I read that, Michael. Mitchell getting his first interception versus Giants. I think either him or DeJean get their.
He's so close, man. I've been so. He's been my favorite player on this defense, like every week. It's been great. Man.
I love him. I love Quinyon Mitchell, man. You know when you watch that Tampa clip with Slay and then Maddox and then him. I mean, dude, that's what you want. You want these guys hungry. How about this? Does Trotter get any more playing time tomorrow?
I hope so. I hope. I don't know. I mean, I think he deserves a shot. I haven't been really happy with Dean at all. I mean, I don't know. He's been a flash, but that's as far as it's been. That's really.
I think Dean's been okay. I don't think he's been like extremely bad, but I don't think he's been great. You know, I would put Trot out there, man. I like the idea of these hungry guys playing, man. I do. Yeah. Big doggy. Army said, thank you for goes, Joey, you at a Diddy party or what? What's that noise? It was the dog. The noise was the dog.
Duck toy.
There you go. Skidmark, thank you for super chat. He goes, Joey's playing pocketball. And then look at this. Chill out. But the great thing about the chill out comment is that the face above it. It totally works. Joey, we were making that a Philly Shakedown podcast shirt. That has to be a shirt.
Please don't.
Somebody said that was a red hair retriever. I want to get a dog. I want a German Shepherd. I want a full bred German Shepherd.
Yeah, they're great.
I might get or like a lab or retriever. I was watching. You ever watch those? What kind of dogs are they called? The ones that the sheep herder dogs. That chase the sheep.
Yeah, I forgot what they're called.
Damn it, what are they called? But anyways, I was watching where the guy goes like, and then the dogs like run. They run like a mile, and they get all the cattle, and then they go in the direction. I'm like, those dogs are cool, man. But I don't have a big enough yard for those dogs to run like that. Simo out there with Super Chat. He goes, I'm going to say it. Dean is a basura. Trash. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Dean.
Good old Dean.
Philly, I'll get you a dog. It's your choice if you campaign for Kenny Pickett 7 to start. That Kenny Pickett, man, we need Kenny Pickett in there. He is masterful with his great arm and his golden gloves. I mean, dude's tremendous. Is that good enough? Do I get a dog now? Yeah, Shepherds, yeah. It was a Shepherd, I think. Australian Shepherd. I wasn't Australian. It was not Golden Retriever.
A Kelpie, an Australian
Border
Kelpie?
Collie. I think it's a Border Collie. I think those are Border Collies. I think that's what they are. But dude, those dogs, they're smart. They're like the smartest dog. And those things, man, they run. The guy just goes,
yeah.
And he says certain things, and they know exactly where to put them. Put like the cattle and get them to run. They're awesome, dude. But I don't have a big enough. Like those dogs look like they have a lot of energy. And I'm just like, no, I would need a bigger house or bigger yard.
A farm.
Yeah, you need a farm for those guys. Rottweiler fan, like, yeah, German, yeah, I like it. I have ass-kicking eagle. That's cool. Why don't they ever come up with security? Like, I don't know. Sorry, this changed the subject, but like, like you have all these cameras. Why don't they have like install like drones at somebody's house? So like every so often the drones like goes over the whole perimeter and then like has a spot on the roof to like, charge up. Like that would be a cool ass security thing, wouldn't it, for your house?
Yeah,
I think that would be awesome, dude. Because look, you have cameras, they all have blind spots. You have to have multiple cameras to get the blind spot. How about if you had a drone that would just do like every like couple hours, it just fly around your yard, the front yard, and look for anything suspicious. And if like something gets triggered, the drones fly over to where it is. Dude, that's like $1 million home security system idea right there. It probably wouldn't cost that much because drones can get cheap. It's $1 million idea right there for security. If you want to start a security business, a home security business, start that. I'd also like have like guns built into the house that come out like at the door. That would be cool too. Dylan Jordan, David Super Chat goes, I don't like a bunch of things Nick does, but I think he catches too much flack. He's won almost twice as many games as he's lost. Don't want to start over. That's kind of feel about Jalen. Like if you get rid of him, you have to kind of start over. And it's almost, I think, easier to replace the coach than the quarterback. But I mean, I get your point. I get where you're coming from. I would love that. That would be like the coolest thing. Like your doorbell rings, boom, like a machine gun comes down. Identify yourself. You know what I mean? Late at night, somebody comes up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, ring your doorbell. The guns come right out on the couch. I think it would be awesome. Like, dude, these are $1 million security ideas. But the drone ones, fucking prison. The drone ones you could do cheap, like because you could get drones cheap. You have a place up on the roof to install them. There's something gets triggered in your yard. the drone goes to action with the live camera, you put it right on your screen, wakes you up. It'd be great. I think it's $1 million idea. You don't have enough drones for security like home security stuff. When you have all these cameras and then they trigger, like, you know, if a door opens, they have all these like sensors. Why not a couple drones for the house? I'm just saying. Yeah, Philly's top flight security system. It'll work, dude. It'll work. I think about this all the time.
How you doing?
Like, because I'm like looking at my phone and I'm looking at my security because something gets triggered in the backyard. And I'm like looking, I'm like, it'd be really cool if I had like a drone that just would like spring into action. So like in the backyard, something's going off, the drone just goes off of the, you know, like above the house, comes right down and right to where the issue was. It'd be funny. It would be awesome, dude.
Right.
You know, the drone idea is great. See, I'm telling you, it's because the drones aren't, you can get a drone for like $99, you know, so why not do it, man? It'd be awesome. Joey could be sleeping on the couch like that. You know, somebody's in his backyard. The drone springs into action, dude. Why not? You know, I saw RoboCop. Yeah.
What?
I actually thought RoboCop was such a stupid movie. I watched it, but I thought it was so stupid. And then I saw the remake. Where you liked it?
I don't like RoboCop at all. I've never been a fan of RoboCop.
Yeah. The remake was But I'm telling you, that security idea, add drones to security, that's a genius. That's a great idea. Great idea. And it could do like perimeter, like, you know, you could have a choice set up. So like, you know, every 2 hours in the middle of the night, it does its reconnaissance. Flies around your perimeter of your house. It'd be beautiful. Be beautiful. Yeah, it is a beautiful dog. Everybody's saying what a beautiful dog.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Joey could watch his voice. No. Do you guys think tackling will be better out of the DBs with Sidney back? Sidney and Eugene are explosive tacklers, a lot of speed and power. It could be. It could be. Yeah, those dogs are awesome. I love it. I love it. Anyways, I guess that's it. When we're talking about drones, it's time to go. I'm just saying, I think it's a genius idea for a security system. You don't have any home security systems with drones. But why not? Why not?
I do not know.
Well, they're cheap. You might as well. Might as well. But anyways, yeah, I guess with that said, we're gonna get out of here. I'll be back for a stream tomorrow. I'll be doing a doubleheader, and Joey, you'll be doing your own thing too, right?
Yep, I will be shooting tomorrow.
And we will be back for whatchamacallit, for our, I guess, our post game, and we'll celebrate the Eagles win. With that, guys, I guess we're gonna get on out of here. I hope you all have a great night. With that said, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Oh shit! Dad! No!
It's over! It's over! This game is over! Cut it off! It's over!
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay! Congratulations, Green Bay!
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay! Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak! That was on you, Dak!
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott!
Trying to figure the ball. Trying
to defend the CeeDee Lamb! Trying to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You tried to defend the CeeDee Lamb! You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb! God! It's over! It's over, Dak! Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.